Those were the only words Madison Lawson muttered as she slid the pink slip across my desk and strode away. No goodbye, no justification, just a document set to implode a $285 million acquisition in precisely 72 hours. She hadn't a clue about the chain reaction she'd ignited. My name's Jim Bennett, 50 years on this earth, and I'd just been axed from Graybridge Defense Systems after pouring 23 years into it. I stared at the letter. Premium ivory stock, the type reserved for formal decrees. My details printed boldly up top, the timestamp smack in the center. Glanced at my wristwatch, high noon on a mundane Monday. My $127,000 incentive payout was queued for Thursday midday, exactly 3 days out. Madison figured she was slick, ditching me pre-bonus to pinch pennies for the firm. What escaped her was that this payout wasn't mere cash. It was the detonator linked to the linchpin of her entire deal. Let me break it down for you. That sum was embedded in a provision drafted over a decade back by the firm's originator, Colonel William Hutchinson. Bill was an ex-Marine, a guy who valued oaths and reciprocity above all. When he embedded that stipulation in my agreement, he ensured no one could erode our shared legacy. Straightforward terms. Upon bonus disbursement, outright proprietorship of our flagship security framework, the Fortress Protocol, shifted to me irrevocably, legally binding, not figurative. Strip that away, and Graybridge brought zero value to Apex Security Partners. Madison had unwittingly primed an explosive she never suspected. I penned my acknowledgement on the dismissal form calmly, my grip steady. Rose snatched my jacket and made for the lifts. Human resources lingered in the foyer like they were guarding a convict. I gave a curt nod and proceeded out. Back at my workstation, I'd planted a tiny gray thumb drive. Caught Madison eyeing it from her doorway as I passed. Likely assumed it held my archives, evidence she'd locked down all assets. That device was blank, dormant for ages. The authentic replicas, every snippet of Fortress code, resided in a vault sealed by my unique biometrics alone. Hopped into my pickup and cruised homeward. The urban sprawl seemed ordinary, commuters hustling through their routines. Unaware that in 3 days, the defense sector's marquee fusion would shatter, all stemming from a brief office exchange. Crossing the threshold, my wife Carol was prepping lunch in the kitchen. One glimpse of me and she placed her mug aside. "Jim, what's wrong?" "Got let go." "How?" Madison entered my space at lunchtime and served the notice. Instant effect. Carol's been my anchor for a quarter-century, weathering my Navy stint of 8 years, endless code marathons during outages, upheavals that might have splintered lesser bonds. Yet this struck deeper. Our daughter Ashley's wrapping up her final college year, son Brian's in his third. Bills for education and the house loomed large. Her motive? To sideline me pre-payout, skimping on that $127,000, and unwittingly activating the stipulation. In 72 hours, Fortress becomes mine, not Graybridge's. "Yours?" Carol eased into the seat opposite. "The acquisition? Doomed sans it." She paused, then voiced what blindsided me. "Jim, 23 years to them. What about our family? Ashley, Brian, your well-being?" That stung worse than the axe. Quarter year prior, my physician flagged elevated glucose levels, borderline diabetes, advised dialing back tension, shedding pounds, contemplating stepping away sooner. I'd vowed to Carol a Montana escape post deal, a secluded spot, serene waters, devices silenced. I recall my vows. "Do you? Retirement chatter for 2 years, yet you're chained to the office weekends." "This varies." "In what way?" "Because Bill relied on you to safeguard our creation, and Madison botched it by skimming the docks she oversees." Carol eyed me steadily, not furious, just weary. "Wrap it up. Then Montana's non-negotiable." "Agreed." Ascended to my study, booted the rig. A timer materialized, crimson digits descending. 71 hours, 57 minutes, 55 seconds. Allow me to recount Bill Hutchinson. Encountered him 23 years back at age 27, post-Navy gigs. Graybridge was embryonic then, a modest facility of techies crafting digital shields for armed forces bids. Bill spotted potential in me from day one. Perhaps my military rigor, or our shared ethos. Construct with integrity, shield your builders. I evolved into the crisis resolver. In 2020, amid a cyber assault paralyzing the East Coast grid, I pulled a 72-hour vigil reconstructing defenses from scratch. Blackouts averted by mere minutes. For Pentagon mandates on quantum-proof safeguards for nuke oversight grids, I engineered the blueprint. Zero-day fixes demanded in 48 hours, delivered in 36. Not for accolades, but duty to a vital cause. A dozen years ago, Bill summoned me to a Virginia diner post-turmoil week. Over whiskey, he revealed a covert amendment to my terms. Jim, I've witnessed takeovers that hollow out gems. Won't permit it here. The bonus? A switch for IP handover, escrowed and payroll triggered. Yours outright, he affirmed. I trust you over suits. Thought him overly cautious then. Vietnam vet's foresight. Now, gazing at the timer, it clicked. He'd anticipated this eons ago. Verified safeguards. Access intact, no intrusions. Madison's crew hadn't probed. That dummy drive sufficed them. Programmed a failover alert. If licenses lapsed pre-zero, it'd dispatch to Apex's attorneys. Content. Thursday noon onward. Graybridge forfeits fortress rights per merger clause 14. That clause mandated key staff retention, me atop the trio. Departure empowered Apex to pause or bail. Madison overlooked it. I'd stake my savings. Auto-send insured, no theatrics, just digital unraveling. Descended for supper, Carol had it ready. Dined wordlessly, minds racing ahead. Later, veranda with scotch, dusk falling. Phone vibrated twice, ignored. Chaos could wait. Madison's empire was eroding unseen. Dawn broke early next day. Carol slumbered. I brewed Joe, scan device. Trio of unanswered calls, pair of messages, erased unheard. Timer, 59 hours, 11 minutes, 45 seconds. Mid-sip, another ring. Finance journalist. E-note preceded. Whispers of Graybridge shakeups tied to Apex. Comment, replied succinctly, query clause 14. Buried in docs, it enumerated irreplaceables. Me primary. Madison inked it blindly half-year back. Now, inquiries would unsettle Apex Council. Strolled the crisp dawn streets, emptying thoughts. Thoracic constriction returned. Doc's warning. Ease up, Jim. Brushed aside. Homeward, inbox pinged. Apex's head lawyer, Elena Torres. Dialed her. Mr. Bennett, Clause 14, ambiguities post your exit. Review originals, explicit. My absence voids fortress tenure with Graybridge. Pause. Rights status? Valid during tenure. Altered yesterday. Seek cert from them. She exhaled sharply. Noted. Shortly, mishap. Leaked Apex internals hit my mail. Elena's demand for IP proof. CCing Graybridge board, including pragmatic vet Harold Klein. He'd dissect what Madison couldn't. Sealed laptop. Inaction fueled their frenzy. Afternoon buzz. Protege Mark Ellis, 32, whom I'd mentored thrice over years in architecture and ethics. Boss Madison dangled VP Engineering $200K, I declined. Respect trumps cash as you instilled. Relief washed over. Unnecessary but valued. Also, she grilled on Fortress repos, feigned ignorance. They're flailing at your station, fruitless. Carol brought sustenance to the den. Eat up. Okay. You seem drained, real rest lately? Last night. 4 hours, I noticed. Plated it. Beyond legacy, this validates your sacrifices. Nights away, skipped meals. She pierced true, craved proof those efforts weren't void. Perhaps. Conclude it, then Montana. No excuses. Dusk news. Graybridge shares plunged 15%. Headlines screamed merger clouds over IP woes. Harold texted, return, sans Madison. Ignored. For now, make them plead. Apex hedged timeline reaffirmation, deal teetering. Timer, 47 hours, 32 minutes, 59 seconds. Ashley rang, alarmed by feeds, assured her stability. Veranda scotch again. Madison likely hold up, delusional control. Wednesday, 9:47 a.m. Her call. Answered post rings. Jim! Apex grilled me post you. What spilled? Morning? Peruse the full pact? Hesitation. Essentials. Dive deeper. Vaults, accesses. Pacing audible. Cert missing, merger hangs. Your issue now. Reinstate talks? Not returning. Clause 14's your guide. Hung up. Carol entered. Her? Predictable. Past water. You all right? Pallor's off. Angina flared. Dismissed. Tension. Market reopened. Shares dipped 8% more. 23% cumulative. Pundits blasted oversight lapses. Leaked board audio surfaced. Harold grilling Madison on the clause, her excuses crumbling, patriarch Victor Lawson vowing fixes, threats of suits. Airtight personal pact, Harold countered. Apex then suspended talks, door ajar for alternatives. Their CEO, Marcus Hale, phoned, pausing Graybridge, eyeing direct tie with you, Fortress Luminary. Timer, 14 hours, 7 minutes, 40 seconds. Send details. Proposal arrived. Bennett Security Ventures, 15 mammotors over 3 years. Equity, autonomy, flexible hours. Forwarded lawyer, prime terms. Media frenzy, Madison mobbed exiting, stoic amid barbs. Old posts mocked online. Countdown dwindled. Carol vigil at 3 a.m. Thursday dawn, coffee, veranda solitude. 11:55, upstairs, timer to 0. Flash, ownership sealed. Cert updated, mine. Notified counsel. Phone onslaught later. Apex Alliance announced. My venture spotlighted. Mark texted elation. Offered him director role post-vacation. Victor apologized via message. Replied graciously, closure. Harold called regrets. Revealed Madison's ouster. Shares tanked 31%. History's botched deal. Signed Apex Pact Monday. Tuesday, Montana bound with Carol. Cabin serenity. Drive purged buzz. Lake dock. Peace. Pentagon ping mid-stay. Delegated to Mark. Taught grandson knots. Shared toned tales. Starside with Carol. No remorse. Lessons in haste. 72 hours reshaped destiny. Madison's thrift birthed my liberty. Affirming dedication endures. At 50, 3 years consulting, then true freedom with trusted successors. Some legacies demand earning, not assuming. To expand further, in the quiet Montana weeks, reflections deepened. Bill's clause wasn't just legal armor, it was a philosophy. Build teams, not empires vulnerable to whims. Recalled early days, 1990s warehouse hacks, forging bonds over pizza during drills. Post-Navy, I'd craved purpose beyond orders. Graybridge delivered, but corporatization eroded it. Madison exemplified that. MBA gloss over grit. Her panic calls escalated pre-transfer, voicemails pleading, then threatening NDAs I ignored. Board leaks painted fractures. Victor's influence waning, Harold pushing audits exposing prior oversights. Apex's offer included clauses honoring my health, mandatory breaks echoing Carol's pleas. Mark, assembled a shadow team, pre-announce, 2 ex-colleagues, poached ethically, brainstorming hybrid protocols blending Fortress with AI sentinels. Media dissected my bio, unsung hero of grid saves, now icon. Interviews deferred, focused on family hikes, mending bonds. Ashley visited virtually. Brian shared startup dreams inspired by my pivot. Dr. Check post return. Glucose stabilizing, stress halved. Regret, only delayed family prioritizations. Madison's fate, demoted to consultant elsewhere, LinkedIn scrubbed. Lesson universal, skim contracts, inherit chaos. My venture launched small. Remote ops, merit-based hires. Pentagon gig via Mark, thwarted breach, earned bonuses funding cabin upgrades. Grandkids visits. Tales of digital fortresses morphed to life lessons on resilience. At 53 sunset, Full circle. Bill's trust repaid, future secured not in boardrooms, but lakeside legacies. Competence isn't disposable. It's the core that outlasts cutters.